Hey, what's up everyone? Today we are looking at the second wave of the Jakks specific The Simpsons figures. We got Lisa, Krusty the Clown, and Moe. So these are their 5-inch figures. This is like their main line here. I only have these three because the Homer figure is a re-release figure from the first wave. So there's only 3 new characters in this wave, just to let you know. So here's the packaging. I'll start off here with Lisa. So here you can see Lisa. She does come with her saxophone right there. The packaging is still the same as, the one from the first wave. Really, everything is still pretty standard. You still got the characters all around the packaging, really. Here's the back of the packaging. We got Lisa with her saxophone, and then, here's the other figures in this wave. So again, Homer is the exact same figure from the first wave. So there's Lisa. Here we got Krusty the Clown. And Krusty is coming with a microphone and a stand right there. And then here is the back of the packaging. And then for Moe, Moe is coming with a rag right here for cleaning. And then we got a telephone right there. And then here is the back of the packaging. Okay, so first up here is Lisa. So she is, of course, a lot smaller than Bart. Her articulation is going to be really similar, except where her dress is. Her dress is a hard plastic, so that's probably going to limit the range for her hips. I'm sure it's probably only going to move up to where, it's going to come in contact with her dress. But not too bad with Lisa. She still has the very bland expression where it's just really nothing going on here. There's no attitude. She's just kind of staring into space, really. Just really nothing. But the hair, the sculpt for the hair, it's not too bad. I think the plastic, that's the plastic coming out of it? Yeah, it looks like the plastic was kind of peeling from there. But yeah, the sculpt for the hair doesn't seem too bad. She still has her necklace, her shoes, right? There is peg holes at the bottom of the shoes right here. Articulation, again, same way. You get a rotation to the head. Arms move back and forth. You get a hinge to the shoulder. Get that much range right there. You do get a rotation to the upper bicep right here. And then you get a hinge to the elbows. Wrists do swivel, and there is a hinge. We do get a rotation for her waist. So there is a rotation there. Again, for the hips, you're not going to get a lot of range because the dress is going to get in the way. So she can go out to the side just far to where it's going to come in contact with her dress. Kicking forward just about there, that much, and then kicking back, just about there. And she is single jointed with the knees, as you can see. So single jointed with the knees. And then her ankles, you're only just going to get a rotation out of the ankles. So Lisa is going to have a hard time standing. Her feet are really small. They're not really completely flat. I don't know if it got warped in the packaging or is it just really, supposed to be positioned like that. She's going to have a hard time standing. You have to get that sweet spot with this figure, really. Like that, for example. So you see how one foot is up. You're gonna have to balance her, really. And that leaves me with her saxophone right here. She doesn't really have a good grip to hold on to the saxophone. It seems like it'll be on to her hand, but then it slips off. It slips out of her hand. It's not really a good way for her to hold on to her saxophone, honestly. I really can't have her hold this really at all. So yeah, you get her saxophone, very, bare plastic, really, not a lot, really, much else with it. I think it probably would have helped if it had the strap for her neck, that goes around her neck for her to hold it better. So here's your Lisa figure comparison. So I have the Jakks one next to the Mattel one, and then this is the Playmates Toys one. One figure is bigger than the other. So this one's bigger than the Jakks one, and then this is bigger than the Mattel one. 3 of them have pretty creepy head sculpts, honestly. The Mattel ones is okay. I think it's just the long neck that kind of creeps me out. But you can see all 3 evolution of Lisa figures here. What I liked about the Mattel one was that the necklace was a separate piece, so you were able to move it. But they're all okay in my opinion. I think I would still prefer the Jakks one though. You know, articulation and sculpt wise, it's a lot better and cleaner really. I just wish she was a little bit, you know, just something going on with the expression. You know, have her like happy or something. You know, I can't show the saxophones. I think this one came with one too. I think the Mattel came with one, but I don't have all of my accessories for the Mattel ones since I've had those since I was a kid. But the one right here, this one is the Playmates Toys ones, and this is the Jakks one, so you can see the difference. This one's a lot bigger, and this one came with the strap here that you can wrap around the neck, and you were able to remove this as well. So I can try it on the Jakks one. I'm sure it shouldn't be an issue, but I think it's probably going to look a little too big. And yeah, I can already tell it definitely looks a bit too big for the Jakks figure. So you can see, like, I mean, it's there, but the saxophone is like right, it's already on the ground. So yeah, I mean, you know, there's that, and she can't really reach it that well. Here's one last comparison. So this time I have Lisa next to the entire family. Alright, next up is Krusty the Clown. He's almost similar to the Homer figure. Not saying he, you know, shares all like reused parts from the figure. There are like things, of course, different, like the pants and, you know, the hands right here. But he's almost pretty similar. The way how like the torso and the arms are very similar to the Homer figure. I'm sure the articulation is going to be about the same too, but overall it's not too bad. The only issue is that, well, we still get that same generic expression. I feel like it's not going to be the best here for Krusty, since Krusty's very expressive. I mean, he is a clown, you know, you would expect something really out of the head sculpt, but we still get that same boring expression really. So, you know, and he comes with a microphone, so you can't really have him do whatever really, because he's just gonna have this expression really. So that sucks right there. But overall the figure's not too bad. You can see we got the sculpt here for the hair back to the back of the head right here, which does look nice, along with the top of his head. We got the, you know, the nose right there, the clown nose, the bow on his shirt right there, and you can see how the pants are, as you can see how like these are with the pants cuff. And of course we got the big clown shoes right there. We got the peg holes at the bottom of the feet. And there's actually a little bit of details there on the gloves, as you can see. Got on here. Nothing here on the palm though, but we have it on this side too. But yeah, that's pretty much Krusty right there. And then articulation, we can go over that. So we do get a rotation to the head. Arms do move back and forth. However, the shoulder for this figure is really stiff. So, you know, I'll use this arm right here. Hinge to the shoulder. Goes high about there. We do got our upper bicep swivel. There is a hinge for the elbows right there, and then the wrists do swivel, and there's also a hinge right there. We get a rotation out of the waist right there. You can move it like kind of up and down a little bit, just a little bit though, not a whole lot. But for the hips, Krusty can go out to the side. He can kick forward, not as much as I liked him to. You only get that much for Krusty to kick forward. Can't really kick back at all. We are single jointed with the knees. You get that much range right there. And then the ankles are just on a ball peg. But you're really just gonna get a rotation. You don't really get much to go up or down and any like rock or anything like that. So that's pretty much the articulation for Krusty. So yeah, it is very similar to the Homer figure if you do own that. So it's going to be similar to that. And the accessory, we do have the microphone and the stand right here. So the stand doesn't have any articulation. It is all just one solid plastic, but the microphone is removable, and you can actually fit that into Krusty's hand right here. Now for comparison, here it is next to the Playmates Toys one, and I didn't realize how much the difference was with the colors. Like this one here is a lot more lighter than this one here on the Jakks, but you can see the huge difference with these. This one is of course a lot more expressive than, you know, the one we got right here. But the only thing I wasn't a fan of with this figure was they made his head like too big, but Later on when they made other Krusty figures, they did like shrink the head a little bit. What's really cool here, so even though with this figure we got this accessory right here, we got something similar with this figure right here. So this is the tuxedo Krusty figure. This one also came with a mic and a stand right here, so you can see the difference with these. So the Jakks one is a lot taller here, while this one's a lot shorter, as you can see. Here's another comparison. So this time I have the Jakks Itchy and Scratchy figures here to the side, and then I got the Playmates toys, Sideshow Bob and then Sideshow Mel. Here's one more comparison. So here's the Jakks one next to the Super 7 Ultimates Krusty figure. And finally, we move on to Mo. And you know what? This Mo figure is actually pretty good. I think it's actually a pretty solid Mo figure. I really like this head sculpt. I would say it's probably going to end up being the best one here in this wave. But I really do like this head sculpt. It is still very bland, really. I mean, the neutral head sculpt is fine from Mo. I think it does like suit him. I feel like a neutral head sculpt or like an angry expression would have been good for Mo. But like, this isn't terrible. You know, I don't mind this. Maybe if the pupils were just a little bit bigger, it probably would have added a lot more to the expression, since he still looks, well, similar to the other figures, really. But everything's not so bad. I do like, you know, the sculpt here for the hair. You see he got like the apron, which is actually rubber. It's actually a rubber material, which is nice. Still see like his bow tie there, you know, his shirt, and then, you know, the pants, and then the black shoes. We got the peg holes here. That is actually going to get in the way for the hips. He won't be able to really do much, so that is going to limit the articulation with the legs right there, right? But what's really cool is that there's actually a tab right here. So when you remove that, you are able to take the apron off of the figure. And I actually really like that they did that here. When I first seen the images here when this figure was revealed, I thought this was going to be like a hard plastic, but it's not actually. I like that that they did this here for the Mo figure. Now for the articulation, so you do get a rotation here to the head. The arms also rotate, and there is a hinge to the shoulder, which goes about horizontal. We do have a upper bicep swivel, get a hinge here for the elbows, along with a rotation there, and wrists do rotate, and there is a hinge right there. We get a waist cut here, rotation here to the waist. The hips are on ball joints. Oh, well, see, there you go. So yeah, they're on a ball joint. There you go, and they can go out to the side about that much, as long as I don't pop them off. And he can kick forward pretty nice, actually. You get that much to kick forward, and surprisingly he can kick back too, which is nice. Of course, you have like a little bit of a thigh cut, or yeah, a little bit of a thigh cut right there. It's just rotating on that ball peg, really. We are single jointed here with the knees, so you get that much range right there. And then the ankles are actually on a ball peg, but they get more movement compared to Krusty, so they can still like go forward and back a little bit, but you get like a better sort of ankle rocker there. Now for the accessories, they're very similar to like the Playmates and then like the Super 7. So, you know, you get like a rag right here. This of course, you know, can go on to the hands like that, really. So you have that, and then we have this telephone right here, and it's actually pretty nice. You can see you got the wire here. You can remove the phone, so this is like a soft plastic. It's not like bendy wire or anything like that, but you know, it's pretty cool. It's a pretty nice accessory, so you can have that as an accessory for Mo. This would probably go great for the Mo's Tavern interactive playset, because you can just kind of like place that down really somewhere on the bar if you want. But yeah, it's pretty nice. It's a pretty nice accessory. Now for a comparison, here it is next to the Playmates Toys one, and you can see they're still about the same height really, but there's like a difference really with like the apron and, you know, the bow tie. Really, like there's some different with the coloring, like the hair, for example. We did get another one of this Mo figure where it came with like a blue apron as well, but yeah, you can see two completely different right here, especially with the head sculpt and the hair. Really, I still really like this head sculpt here. This is one of my favorite head sculpts that Playmates Toys did with their Simpsons figures. I really still to this day prefer this one more. But again, you know, for the price point for the Jakks one, you know, this one is still okay. For another comparison, here's Mo next to his other friends. So, you know, we got the Jakks Homer right here, and then we got the Playmates Toys Barney, and then Lenny and Carl right there. For another comparison, here it is next to the Super 7 Ultimate figure. And then here's one last comparison. So this time I have all of the characters so far that they made here in this line. So you can see all of them together. And this is a pretty funny comparison as they all look pretty creepy, having the same exact expression. But then there's Willie right here, that's just the only one that actually has some expression going on here. So yeah, I really don't like the way how the family is all gonna look like this, because if they make Marge, is she gonna have that same expression? I really hope not, because then they're all gonna look the same really. So that's, yeah, that kind of sucks right there. But yeah, that's pretty much how all the figures look. Okay, so final thoughts on the Jakks specific, the Simpsons, Lisa, Krusty the Clown, and Mo figures. I think these are okay for what they are. The articulation is still amazing on these figures. I like the posability of them. I just still have the same issues with them as I did with Wave 1, where they're just lacking in the head sculpt. There's just no expression with these figures. They all just look the same. Minus Groundskeeper Willie, of course. I'm also not really a fan of the saxophone that comes with the Lisa figure. If it had some paint on it and was a bit easier for her to hold better, it would have been great. But everything else is alright with the figures. I'm looking forward to who's going to be in Wave 3 whenever that comes out. But let me know, what are your thoughts on these in the comments down below. If you want to pick these up, they are available at Target. As always, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the review. But until then, take care, my friends.